Yo. What's up, guys? It's David, your favorite trader, developer, and money-making sidekick. And today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We are ripping. Look at that. We're on the 1 minute scale. Let's go ahead and zoom out to the hour just to show you what's been going on. Bitcoin follows these patterns, right? I love the volume profiles. That's my favorite way to trade, right? It's really my only way I trade. I use volume profiles. I use the Fibonacci retracement levels, and that's how I take my trades, right? Price went from the high, bounced off the POC, kind of bounced around in the middle of this golden pocket, rejected the golden pocket, fell all the way down to the volume area low. As we know, price is likely to bounce from the volume area low back up to the volume area high. The closer this point of control, this green line is, to the top or the bottom, the stronger the magnet is to those price levels. So we are in this golden pocket range now, where I think price from here might do some of this, bounce off of this guy, reject this level, flip the value area high, come up here, boom, test all-time highs yet again. So we will see if that plays out. That would be great. So we're gonna take a scalp trade again. Price is ripping. Price is ripping. What's going on with my market cipher here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Red dot printing on the 1 minute. Money flow looks like it is coming out of the red and back into the green. We're going to go up to the 4 hour here. 4 hour looking pretty promising. Green dot printing on the 4 hour. And on the daily, on the daily, I don't think we're looking that well. Oh, there we go. On the daily, I don't think we're doing so hot. Red dot printing. Money flow's thick in the green, right? The thicker the money flow, the higher chance of divergence. So let's go ahead and take this scalp. Oh man, see, so normally what I would do in this area, we're gonna go ahead and enter. We're gonna enter a short, right? We think we're gonna reject this level, and I'm gonna place my stop loss just above the point of control, and I'm risking only $1.2 billion for this trade. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes for the stream today. And what are we going to talk about? Blockchain security firm. Let's go ahead and do some of this. Blockchain security firm releases Celsius hack. A dog coin. Oh, my nose is itchy. Bitcoin price expected to soar as bond market breaks. Here's why. So the key takeaways from this is rising bond yields reflect a growing concern about fiscal stability and inflation, leading some investors to question the U.S. Treasury's traditional role as a safe haven asset. Bitcoin defies conventional risk models, rising not because of worsening macro conditions, but possibly because of them. Bitcoin climbed to new highs amid increasingly fragile global economic backdrops. Bond yields are surging in the U.S. and Japan. Global growth is stalling, and consumer confidence in the U.S. is scraping historic lows. Yeah, so people don't want to put their money in the U.S. dollar, right? And if you didn't want to put your money in the U.S. dollar or gold, what's your next bet? Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always my first bet. So I'm going to bet on that before I put my money into any kind of government. There are some very macro conditions that once threatened Bitcoin's price, and it's now fueling its rise. The shift speaks to a broader transformation in how investors interpret the risk and where they seek refuge. At the center of this realignment is the U.S. debt crisis and the ballooning treasury yields, which were once considered the safest asset in the world. I mean, yeah, this is what sucks, right? Because I live in the U.S. I want the U.S. dollar to be strong again, right? Why wouldn't I want it to be the strongest in the world? But I know that that's not the case, and the dollar is losing value pretty quick for the time being. But I'm always going to put my money into Bitcoin because that's what I know. That's what I've been doing for the last, 6 or 8 years of my investment portfolio, and it's done the best for me, right? Bitcoin is the largest growing asset in the world. Why am I going to put my money into something that it only grows 3 to 10% a year when Bitcoin is over 100% gains every single year, excluding the bear market? U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear on several occasions that lowering the yields was among his top economic priorities. However, this may prove far more difficult than he had expected, as the two most reliable methods to achieve it both need to come from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Lowering the interest rates would make newly issued bonds yield less money, making higher existing yield bonds more attractive, pushing up their price and lowering the effective yield. Another way through quantitative easing, where the Fed would buy large amounts of the bonds in the open market, thus creating a demand for lowering yields. I don't know much about bonds, man. We're buying Bitcoin. That's why you're here. If you know a lot about bonds, sell them. Buy Bitcoin. Investors do not appreciate political meddling within the foundations of the U.S. global economy, and their confidence is already fragile. In times of instability, investors traditionally flock to government bonds as a safe haven. But today, the opposite is happening. Investors are turning away from treasuries, suggesting problems in the U.S. economy are too large to ignore. The recent loss of the U.S. government's last AAA credit rating is a stark confirmation. Yeah, our credit rating is low because we just continue to bring on more debt, right? But if you follow this channel, you know that if you're using your debt to buy things that make you money, that's a smart move. But if you're using your debt to buy things that make you money and never pay off your debt, well, that's not good. On May 22nd, the yield of a U.S. 30-year bond hit 5.15%, the highest since October 2023. Before that, a level not seen since July 2007. A 10-year yield now stands at 4.8, and a 5-year mark is at 4, and the 2-year is at 3.92. So basically, if you don't know what a bond is or how a bond works, you can buy bonds over time. And if you buy a 30-year bond, well, your money grows by 5%. If you get the 2-year yield, it grows by 3.92, right? So technically, it is a safe spot for your money if you have lots and lots of money, but at 3.92 growth on my couple $1,000 isn't really worth it to me. Let's see where we rip. Oh, okay. See, we rejected the point of control, I think, and we've crossed back down below the 0.618. So I feel like this is good momentum to move back down into this level here. Bink, boop, bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. All right, so that's enough about bonds. Bonds are boring. Ethereum bullish pattern. I mean, I don't like Ethereum. I'm sorry if you like Ethereum, but Ethereum did me dirty. Michael Saylor hints at buying more of the Bitcoin dip. Strategy co-founder Michael Saylor signaled an impending Bitcoin purchase by the company amid the recent dip of the all-time high of 112,000 reached on May 22nd. I only buy Bitcoin with money I can't afford to lose, while Saylor wrote to his 4.3 million followers on X. The company's recent purchase of 7,390 Bitcoin on May 3rd. Dude, like, oh, you can afford to lose 7,000 Bitcoin? Oh, 765 million. I think he's just saying that, bro. Michael Saylor is all in and he knows it. And he's just preaching the don't invest anything more than you're willing to lose, right? He's all in. He can't afford to lose this money, but he's going to stand on that statement, right? Michael Saylor's or MicroStrategy's portfolio now holds $62 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's cool, man. They're getting it, right? Strategy has become synonymous with Bitcoin, and the company continues stacking large amount of Bitcoin for its corporate treasury and inspiring other companies to pivot to a Bitcoin treasury plan, creating a sustained demand for the digital asset from institutional players, helping bolster the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin to propel Strategy into a $10 trillion enterprise, leaving other companies in the dust. Market analyst Jeff Walton recently said that Strategy may become a $10 trillion company and potentially command the title for the most valuable publicly traded corporation in the world due to its growing Bitcoin stockpile. I hope so, right? Like, I mean, honestly, 250,000 is my target for the end of this next bull run. Strategy holds more of the best assets and most pristine collateral on the entire planet by any other country by multiples, Walton told the Financial Times in a documentary about the company. The analyst also added that most companies typically face challenges raising hundreds of millions of dollars in capital, but Strategy has been able to raise billions of dollars in just under 2 months. Where are they getting this money from, right? Look at me in here. I'm bored. I'm making minimum wage. Not really, but pretty close to it, right? And on the grand scheme of things, I'm poor, right? I'm stupid poor. I just want to trade and make, anywhere from 50 to 250 bucks a day trading plus my day job, right? But instead, I'm losing anywhere from 50 to 250,000 every day. Yeah, so let's look at that, right? So let's go out to the 2-day, right? And what we're gonna do is now we're gonna go to the weekly time frame, and I've drawn this symbol right here. On the weekly, if we were to pull our fib from the high to the low, I already have one here, but I don't. Oh, it's already shown. Control Z. So yeah, I think the 4 level puts us at 241,000. The 4.76, 287,000, which on a time frame, if we're ripping at the rate we're ripping, that's going to be the beginning of 2026 if we continue to stay on a bull market. But you and I as traders, we all know that we look for these areas to place our trades, right? Got to buy at the low, sell at the high, man. It's stressful and it doesn't always work out how we plan, but in the long run, as long as we're continuing to buy, we're going to do pretty good. And companies like MicroStrategy are showing us that that is the answer. Let's read this one too. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse explores the role of importance of crypto ETFs. As the market leader, Bitcoin opened the doors for spot crypto ETFs in the early 2024, when 11 at first, then 12 such products were finally greenlighted in the United States following years and years of delays and rejections. the United States needs to get their shit together, man. You know how many other countries have been passing us when it comes to crypto, and how much better we would do if we were able to buy and sell crypto more freely without so many restrictions and regulations, right? Me as a trader, I would love to not have to pay capital gains tax for one, right? I would love to trade, take my weekly earnings and put them in the bank account so I can leave here and I can have this live stream done from the comfort of my home and give me the freedom to do what I want during the day instead of helping old ladies change their fucking email passwords. Ethereum followed suit in July, and now the question is, if not, but which cryptocurrency will have its own spot exchange traded ETF funds in the US, with some leading contenders being XRP, Sol, Dodge, and Litecoin. As long as XRP and Solana can get on that list, I'll be a happy camper. Trying to summarize the importance of crypto ETFs in just 1 minute. Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, outlined the two key reasons why the financial vehicles are so important for institutional access, right? Well, yeah, because now you can take big corporations like Fidelity, BlackRock, Vanguard, and people who don't know anything about crypto can have their financial advisor invest in crypto for them. Before the January 2024 launch of the Spotcoin Bitcoin ETF on Wall Street, institutional market participants had to rely on a more unusual access points to get Bitcoin exposure, such as cryptocurrency exchanges and self-custody. However, introduction of these financial vehicles changed the game entirely, which is evident from the mind-blowing demand of most spot Bitcoin ETFs, especially BlackRock. Yeah, so that's what I just talked about, right? These companies have a lot of people just investing and wanting to buy. So I think that's good. We're going to keep it short, right? We don't need to read all this. Ripple ETF to the moon, baby. Let's close our position here. And we're going to go ahead and take that money. We're going to sign off. And that's it. Peace out.